Every engine cover on a boat lot hides the same thing, a service history the salesman hopes you never ask about. The hull gets the attention, but the engine decides whether you spend summers on the water or in the shop. Today, 6 engines to never buy, 3 worth it. Let's get into the ones to avoid. Number 1. Evinrude E-Tech. The E-Tech was a genuinely clever engine. Direct injection, real fuel efficiency, and a loyal following that swore by it for over a decade. Then, in 2020, Bombardier Recreational Products shut the entire Evinrude brand down without warning, leaving thousands of owners with an engine that no longer has a manufacturer standing behind it. Parts availability has been shrinking every year since, and independent marine mechanics now openly tell customers to budget for a full repower rather than chase increasingly scarce Evinrude components. The engineering was never the problem. The problem is that you cannot buy loyalty to a brand that stopped existing, and every year that passes makes an E-Tech a harder engine to keep running and a worse engine to try to sell. Marine mechanics who still service them will tell you plainly that they're recommending fewer repairs and more full engine swaps every season, simply because the parts math no longer favors fixing what's already there. Number 2. Mercury Verado. The supercharged Verado line delivers genuinely impressive power and a smooth, quiet ride that Mercury markets aggressively as the premium outboard experience. What the brochure leaves out is the supercharger and drive system complexity that turns routine maintenance into a specialist job, with independent mechanics reporting labor bills 30 to 40% higher than comparable Yamaha or Suzuki service work for the same basic maintenance interval. Owner forums report a consistent pattern of supercharger clutch and cooling system issues showing up right around the 300 to 400 hour mark, conveniently just past when most extended warranties expire. You are paying a premium for horsepower numbers that look great on paper and a service bill that looks considerably worse once the warranty clock runs out. Dealers rarely walk a first-time buyer through what a supercharger rebuild actually costs out of pocket, because that conversation doesn't happen until years after the sale is already closed. Number 3. Volvo Penta IPS. Volvo Penta's pod drive system is a legitimately clever piece of engineering, better fuel economy, and easier docking through joystick control. The catch is that Volvo built the entire system as a closed proprietary platform, which means every repair runs through a limited dealer network charging rates that independent marine mechanics simply cannot compete with because they are locked out of the parts and diagnostic software entirely. Owners report waiting weeks for specialized parts that a Mercruiser or Yamaha equivalent would have on a shelf same week, and out-of-warranty repair estimates routinely running double what a comparable stern drive costs to fix. You are paying for convenience at the dock and paying again, considerably more every time something goes wrong at the dealer's price. Independent mechanics who aren't authorized to touch the system will tell you outright that they've turned away IPS owners simply because they can't source the parts to help. Number 4. Indmar Raptor. Indmar built its reputation supplying engines to Mastercraft and other wake boat brands, and the Raptor line has ridden that reputation into premium pricing that recent model years have not entirely earned. Multiple owner complaints and at least one documented recall point to cooling system and exhaust manifold failures showing up well before the engine hours, where a comparable marine power or PCM engine is still running clean. The wakeboat market has limited engine options to begin with, which means Indmar can charge what it wants without the competitive pressure that keeps outboard pricing honest. You are paying inboard market pricing without inboard market reliability to show for it. Wake boat owners who've gone through a warranty claim describe a process slower and more bureaucratic than anything outboard owners typically deal with, which matters a lot more when the engine in question is the only thing keeping the boat moving. Real quick before we keep going, I don't get a dime from any engine manufacturer to say any of this, which is exactly why some of these brands are not going to be happy this video exists. If you want the next breakdown before it gets buried, hit subscribe now. Back to the list. Number 5. Pleasurecraft Marine. PCM built its name as the budget inboard engine option for wakeboat and ski boat builders looking to hit a lower price point and the corners cut to get there show up faster than the marketing implies they will. Independent surveys report exhaust manifold and riser corrosion issues appearing 2 to 3 years earlier than on comparable Indmar or Marine Power inboards, a problem directly tied to raw water cooling components that were built to a lower spec from the factory. The upfront savings are real, so is the repair bill waiting for you the first time a corroded riser lets water into a cylinder, a failure that can total an engine that looked perfectly healthy from the outside a week earlier. Boatyards that see a lot of PCM units describe the failure as sudden and total far more often than gradual, which is exactly the kind of surprise a budget-conscious buyer can least afford. Number 6. Crusader. Crusader closes this list because the brand's inboard engines carry Mercury-adjacent pricing without Mercury's parts network or dealer support behind them. Owners in more rural boating markets report driving hours to find a shop that stocks Crusader-specific components, a logistics problem that turns a routine repair into a multi-week ordeal every single time. You are paying mid to premium pricing for a support network that thins out the moment you leave a major boating market. Buyers who cruise between regions report the exact same frustration, a part their home marina stocks without issue, turning into a 2-week wait the moment they're anywhere else. 6 engines exposed for charging you a premium your wallet will keep paying long after the purchase. Now, here are 3 that are worth every penny you spend on them. Number 1. Yamaha Outboards. Yamaha is worth every penny because the 4-stroke lineup has built a reputation for running past 3,000 hours with nothing more than scheduled maintenance, verified repeatedly across independent long-term owner surveys and marine mechanic forums. Parts availability is universal, dealer networks are everywhere, and resale values on Yamaha-powered boats consistently run 10 to 15% higher than comparable boats with less proven engines. You are paying for an engine that mechanics actually want to work on because it rarely surprises them. Ask any shop what they'd put on their own boat, and Yamaha comes up more often than any brand they actually sell more of. Number 2. Suzuki Outboards. Suzuki is worth every penny because the brand has quietly matched Yamaha's reliability numbers while pricing $1,000 to $2,000 below comparable horsepower. A gap that exists because Suzuki has never spent the marketing dollars Yamaha and Mercury pour into brand recognition. Independent long-term testing shows corrosion resistance and fuel economy that consistently beat the segment average, which means you are getting engineering that outperforms its price bracket instead of engineering priced to match its reputation. Owners who switched from Mercury or Yamaha to Suzuki after doing their own comparison overwhelmingly report the same thing, that the only real difference they noticed was the smaller bill. Number 3. Yanmar Diesel. Yanmar closes this list because the brand builds marine diesels the way the category is supposed to be built, for owners who plan to run an engine for 15 years and actually keep records of every service interval. Independent surveys of trawler and sailboat owners report engines regularly passing 8,000 hours with nothing beyond scheduled maintenance. And the global parts and service network means an owner in nearly any harbor in the world can get support without waiting weeks for a specialty part. You are paying for an engine built by people who assumed you were going to keep it a very long time, and it shows. Long-range cruisers who've crossed oceans on a Yanmar tend to talk about the engine the way people talk about something they've stopped worrying about entirely, which is the highest compliment a diesel can earn. 6 engines taking your money long after the sale is final. 3 engines that keep earning their price every single season you own them. The real cost of an engine was never on the sticker. It's in every hour you spend running it afterward. The engines on the first half of this list are betting you won't do the math on total ownership cost until it's too late to change your mind. The engines on the second half are betting you eventually will. Drop the engine you've had the worst luck with in the comments below. See you in the next one.